Welcome to Salute to the Ears, where my family and I discuss everything Disney, from parks, food, and rides to travel tips, movies, and more. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Salute to the Ears. I am your host, Jeremy Simon, and with me is my wonderful wife, Erica. And it has been a busy week in Disney.
It's been a busy week here, too. But yes, it's been a busy week in Disney.
Yeah, I feel like it's probably been like a busy month there. But this week was kind of a big week.
Well, we're celebrating halfway to the holidays.
Right.
Which is my favorite.
Yeah. I go back and forth between Halloween and Christmas.
Yeah,
but they're both pretty fantastic.
I do too, but Christmas is over the top here at our house as well as at Disney, and so it's no shock that they are already preparing everything and talking about what they're going to be doing over Christmas.
Right. They announced a new magical Christmas event in Magic Kingdom.
Yes, Disney's Very Merriest After Hours.
Right. So that means no Very Merry.
Yes, no Very Merry Christmas Party.
Right. So I think what this is going to mean is less people coming in. It's not going to be as crowded because it's a paid after-hours event. They said it's, 3 hours?
4.
4 hours at the end of the night. 20 rides open. Fireworks, special fireworks event.
I think it's going to have a lot of the same things as we've seen, with other after-hours events. Of not everything's going to be open. You're going to have different food. You're going to have, special projections and fireworks and characters. I do think it's going to be good. I'm interested to see how this plays out because what they did not announce, I don't think, is the price tag.
They have
yet for this one. So tickets go on sale next month, but that's all we know. And it starts November 8th. Yeah.
If they do the same thing as what they did with Boo Bash, it was about a week and a half, 2 weeks before tickets went on sale.
Yeah.
And that's when prices came out. My guess is probably going to be pretty comparable.
Yeah, I think it's going to be similar to Boo Bash, which was interesting as far as how that price, had such mixed reviews from people of what they were getting out of that and and what changes are happening compared to previous parties, like Mickey's Not So Scary and Mickey's Very Merry.
Right. And I think the big deal is this is an after-hours event, not a party. The parties typically have a lot more people in there.
Well, and typically with those, you can get in at, say, 4 or 5 p.m., and then you're there until midnight.
Right.
And with these, it's truly an after-hours. You really only get that 3 or 4 hours, and that's it.
But if you want to be able to go ride all the rides, you'll be able to ride all the rides.
Time to go. Yeah. Well, the ones that are open, it's 20 attractions that are open, which is a pretty big number for Magic Kingdom. But there will be things that are not open, and particularly ones that tend to not run at night anyway, like Jungle Cruise. And I'm trying to think what else doesn't usually run. There's something else that usually doesn't run at night at Magic Kingdom.
I don't remember.
That may be the only one that I know of for sure that probably won't be. You won't have ones like Dumbo may or may not be running.
Right. Out of all
Carpets of Aladdin, things like that.
Out of all the big rides, at that point it'll be Jingle Cruise will be the biggest one. Most of them will be open. It'll be a good time. Special treats, special drinks, special fireworks. I'm going to guess they'll announce at some point whenever live shows come back, there'll probably be a special live show for it. The stage is prepped and ready to go.
I hope so.
I would imagine they're coming sooner rather than later, but we'll see.
We'll have to see.
Yep. But today was the very first day of Food and Wine Festival in Epcot.
Yes, and today is Thursday. July 15th. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
It's been a really long week, y'all. We have never actually truly enjoyed food and wine.
No. Food and wine is something I feel is kind of hard to do with littles.
It is.
Epcot, just going back and doing the World Showcase with littles is already tough.
Yeah.
But if you're stopping all the time to grab a drink or food, it becomes tougher because kids want to be entertained.
Yeah, it's a lot of waiting in the lines for those, so we haven't actually gotten to fully enjoy all of these. We did get to try. No, I guess there wasn't food.
We did Festival of the Holidays last year.
I was thinking that we bought something when we were there, though, in October of 2019.
We may have, because I feel like there's things we've tried before. I know we've been there during Food and Wine. So I'm sure we've tried things.
There's only one other year when we've been there at that time when we could have...
yeah.
We could have been there during Food and Wine, but...
Anyway, this is a lot of people's favorite festival at Epcot. If you're a foodie, the name says it all.
I mean, the list, we pulled a list off of DFB, off of Disney Food Blog, of kind of, pretty much everything that's being offered. Not only the treats that are being offered that started today, but then there's also a list of things that are opening October 1st.
Right.
And extended menus and extended booths, in different countries that won't open until October 1st with the 50th. But the list of stuff, I mean, this print is like...
Teeny tiny.
It all sounds amazing. I mean, we went through and started highlighting things that we were like, ooh, I want to try that.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'd like to have that. And it got very colorful very quickly.
Yeah. Went in there to highlight things because all of us have places that we like better than others.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, that would be a really good spot for me. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go in here. I'm going to highlight things so I can talk about ones that I really want to talk about. And it really didn't eliminate a whole lot. There's pretty much something at every booth I think I would like. There's some it might be a little tougher for me to find something, but I'm definitely pickier between the two of us.
You are, but I don't like spicy.
That's
so
true.
That becomes harder where I can handle some flavorful heat, but I don't like spicy.
Right. Going through this list, it seems like pickled is a big thing this year. It seems like there's a lot of mushrooms.
Which becomes an issue for me. So
Right.
I actually have a mushroom allergy, and that would be very difficult for me to enjoy several of the items that I was like, ooh, that sounds really good. And then I see mushrooms, and I'm like, oh.
Right. So when I'm going through this, I'm really wasn't planning on talking about the wine, the beer a whole lot, because pretty much all of them have wine or beer. I would be fine drinking, I think. And then there's also one of the things I noticed big kind of theme this year, a lot of hard ciders.
Yeah, I don't know I guess that's kind of a big thing in general with breweries and stuff right now. And I am not a hard cider fan in general, so
right. I don't mind it. I just was kind of surprised how many of them on there I saw. There were a lot of good like specialty drinks too that I liked. I may talk about a couple of those, but yeah, for the most part, if you like beer, you like wine, you like hard cider, you're going to be in a good place. I would not try to drink them all in one day because you won't be standing by the end.
That you don't have to worry about that with me. I am actually the one who'd be walking around Epcot that would be looking for all of the non-alcoholic drinks. And I have to say, at least from this list, and I know this may not be a full comprehensive list, this is probably missing a few, especially of those non-alcoholic options that maybe are there year-round, and available more often than just during Food and Wine. But I'm kind of disappointed that there weren't more mocktails available.
Right. And maybe we're just not seeing them on there.
Yeah, and it may just be that they're not on this menu that we pulled up. But the, one that did catch my eye in France was the Evian sparkling cucumber and mint water with magnesium and zinc, which is labeled as a new addition in France. And so I'm kind of interested in that. I do really like sparkling water, mineral water, and cucumber and mint is a great combination in a sparkling water or in a plain water too.
Right.
But I was like, okay, that's listed as a non-alcoholic, option in a kind of a specialty drink, a refreshing drink. But there's a lot of these where I'm like, really? Like, you couldn't have thrown together a mocktail for
Right. Yeah, you really don't see a whole lot on there other than maybe like some juices here or there. Mm-hmm. But like I said, I'm sure there's options, and there's probably creative specialty options at a lot of these different booths.
I am pleased with the amount of desserts offered, as well as the main courses and appetizer type food selections. I am a dessert girl through and through.
You are sweet. I'm more savory on a lot of things.
So I'm super excited about a lot of those. What do you think your top thing that if we could go and be there tomorrow and try, what would you want to go and eat tomorrow?
Okay. So for me, I'm going to kind of throw in the what can I not get here? Like, I really want to go to Brew Wing at the Epcot experience, a new one. You got several different kinds of wings there. You got pepperoni pizza, cheese pizza, wings from very mild to hot. Like your hot one is mango habanero. Whew. Yeah. And then all kinds of beers, hard ciders. Sounds fantastic, but at the same time, I want to try it, but this is something I can get here. I think, honestly, I want to go to the Noodle Exchange.
Okay.
As long as it's not blazing hot outside.
Yeah.
If it's blazing hot outside, then I don't want to eat soup. Or noodles.
Is that what you...
Yeah, that's what it is. It's all kinds of, basically, ramen. All kinds of different noodles. Not the tofu one. I'm out on the tofu.
Yeah, you won't eat the tofu one.
No.
They sound really good. Again, a lot of those are ones that I can't have because a lot of them have mushrooms in them. Mm-hmm. I just don't feel like doing that to myself.
Right. Now, the donut box, if I'm there first thing in the morning, would be pretty good, too.
Yeah.
So.
I'll take that.
Mm-hmm. What would be your one you would want to go to if we were going?
If we were going, first of all, I would want my Corksicle tumbler.
Yeah. If you didn't know, they are sponsoring.
They are sponsoring Food and Wine this year, and I actually have a Corksicle. I've had it for several years, and it is really, really nice way, the actual true old school Corksicle. It's a great way to chill wines, keep them chilled once they're already open on a table without watering them down.
Is it Corksicle or Cork Circle?
Sickle.
I thought it was circle. I thought it was circle. I thought it was the glasses.
No, it's Corksicle. Remember that thing that I have?
I understand
in the freezer
but
that looks
Cork
like a stick?
Circle is the little wine, like stemless wine glasses.
No, it's Sickle. Cicle. Sickle.
Okay.
That's the brand, is Corksicle.
Once again, you are right. I can't read. It's small print.
It's tiny. No, but the brand is Corksicle.
Okay.
That's how I know, because I have a Corksicle. And it's like an icicle. It looks like an icicle. And it's plastic, and you stick it inside your wine bottle.
Okay.
You freeze it and stick it inside your wine bottle. And so would be really excited to get my Corksicle tumbler and the stemless flute that they've also got. But food-wise, I want the s'mores stuff. There's 2 different s'mores items that I found. And if you guys follow my blog, you know, like, this is a staple here.
What is your blog?
Life of the Clubhouse.
There you go.
On Instagram, lifeoftheclubhouse.com, under construction. But there's a s'mores whoopie. Is it the s'mores whoopie pie?
That's what we're gonna call it.
Or pie-ion? I don't know, but it's
pie.
Flavors from Fire, and it's smoked chocolate cake, graham crackers, marshmallows, chocolate ganache, and candied bacon. Now, I noticed that both things that were s'mores based have
candied bacon.
Yeah, where's the other one?
The other one's right above there. The funnel cake stand.
The funnel cake stand,
which Jackson also marked.
Mini candied bacon s'mores funnel cake with vanilla ice cream. So very interesting to have the addition of the bacon. I think that might have to get added to my s'mores.
I never thought of that
snack
one.
board.
Yeah, I never thought of that.
Especially like a candied bacon like that, like
right.
Not necessarily like a really savory bacon, but like a
right. You know, Flavors of Fire would be a good one to go to. I think. Like, we both would like that one. Mm-hmm. That's the one. It's actually that one. Remember, it's sponsored by ESPN. That's why you look at some of the stuff, like corned beef corner route.
Oh, so then it's Pylon because
Pylon, yeah. Yeah, now I get it. I figured I would have got that earlier. Like corned beef corner route, and that's corned beef, crispy potatoes, cheese curds, pickled onions, and beer cheese fondue. Like, I would love that, minus the pickled onions.
Well, yeah, but you don't do onions.
That's on top, so you can take those off.
Yeah. Yeah, I tend to gravitate, besides that one, I tend to, like, the ones I typically marked were country-based versus, like, the extra booths that are around that are at kind of the entrance to World Showcase. And then, you know, they're spread out a little bit, but quite a few of those are towards the entrance to World Showcase.
Right.
But I really like a lot of the country ones. And I think I like it because you get these little, like, bites of it without having to spend an entire meal, you know, in that country and essentially wasting time from your day.
Yeah. And most of these are actually almost little snack size.
Yeah, they're almost appetizer size, snack size. Like,
but if you're going to be eating a bunch of them a day, like if you're going to be going to Italy and say getting ravioli, it may come with like 4 or 5 raviolis. Well, then you split it between 2 of you. Yeah. You know? It's that way you're not getting completely filled up everywhere you go.
There's a new chicken ravioli this year. And I'm going to need Rachel Ray to tell me how to pronounce the second cheese that's in it. Because there's a Romano cheese, but then there's also something else. Prezzemolo? I don't know. We joked before this. We were like, we're screwed. I can't pronounce half of these words. The ones from France, like...
Which I was just, like, reviews of these are already coming out from places.
Right.
And France completely overhauled their menu. So there was a lot of fan favorites that aren't there from France.
Oh, really?
And it's not turning out well.
No.
It's day one. Like,
yeah, there may just be some glitches for day one.
Braised chicken, that was super dry, and the potatoes were really dry with that, and people were saying stuff was just kind of missing some things. So maybe they'll tweak it into day one. We have like 165 more days of Food and Wine to go.
I mean, is this the longest festival now? Because now it's longer than Garden, right?
This is going up clear up until the Festival of the Holidays.
Like, I feel like there's like a 6-week break, maybe? Not even. There's not even a 6-week break.
That. There's like 6 weeks out of the year that doesn't have a festival now.
See, and that just, like,
it kind of takes away a little bit from the festival, I feel.
I feel like it does too, but at the same time, you end up with more people who get to enjoy it because it's around longer. And there are some of those treats that maybe you would rather enjoy summertime and some that you'd rather have in the fall. Right. So that's that's a different thing.
Yeah. One of the other things I saw today was the China stand was by far the most popular. That line was insane. You would think like a new ride just opened up. It looks fantastic. I marked it. I like Chinese food. I mean, that's what we had for dinner.
We did have
Chinese food.
But we got free donuts.
Yeah. This place loves us. They always give us free donuts.
We get free donuts every time. I love it. I really would love to try the bubble tea, but it says it has whole milk, and I'm guessing that there's not a non-dairy option, so I would be out.
But you got like chicken dumplings and a beef bao bun, which looks really good.
I would be on my butt with the dragonfly drink. Gold tequila, vodka, orange juice, and mango syrup.
It sounds pretty good.
Sounds delicious. I'd be done.
But then the one right underneath that sounds pretty good, too. That's a Kung Fu Master. Which, can I be like a person that gets to name things at Disney? Because that would be fantastic.
I feel like sometimes these are kind of like, some of the names of these, some of it is just, it's just the name, literally, like the one in Italy. Like, it's just ravioli.
Right.
Like, and it has the ingredients. Like, some of them are really simple, but some of them I'm like, it's almost like the way that nail polishes are named. Yeah. Yeah. Like, it's, I don't know. It's fun.
Yeah. The Kung Fu Masters, vodka, triple sec, mango syrup, and orange juice. Sounds really good.
I did notice a lot of new, at least on this list, they have it labeled next to it, what is new. Right. I did notice there are a lot of new wines, and I will be interested to see some of those reviews coming out over the next few weeks of the different wines that they bring in. And, you not only are going to have more international wines, but there'll also be more domestic wines available, and that'll be really good. I am really, really interested in some of the stuff that's coming October 1st, too.
Yeah. Nope. Just kind of a real quick list of and it's mostly countries.
But not countries that are already represented in World Showcase.
Right. Like you have Ireland, which looks like seafood, Irish cream stuff. Brazil, which is typically at Food and Wine, and it's one of the big ones. It's the cheese bread. Yep, there it is. Do not ask me to pronounce that. There's another one, but everyone I've heard ever talk about it says that cheese bread is fantastic, and a good reason why people say if you're going to add another country, add Brazil.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, next is Belgium, and you end up with like a beer braised beef. You've cut a Belgian waffle, of course.
Oh, that's good.
And then also some beer flight options. Spain coming in with the charcuterie and
there you go.
seafood salad. You got the Alps. So not actually a country, but a region.
Right.
But well represented. A Swiss cheese with alpine ham, baby potatoes.
I feel like that one was there last year.
I think that one was. That doesn't... nothing that's there is listed as new.
Right.
Kenya...
That'd be an interesting one. I feel like that'd be a lot of the same foods that you'd get over at Animal Kingdom Lodge.
Yes, I think that probably is a good represent. Mac and Eats is new.
That's a new one. Yep.
And so that is macaroni and cheese based stuff, which sounds amazing. I really actually hope that's one that kind of ends up staying around, and if some of those items end up staying around outside of the festival. And then India.
That'd be interesting.
We've just recently introduced our kids finally to curry and Indian food. My sister introduced them, and they really liked it. I was really surprised. And then Lobster Landing, which is also new. So those are your lobster chowder and baked lobster, and there's literally like every range of item that you could expect to eat. Now, one thing that isn't listed on DFB's on this particular menu is whether or not items are vegetarian or vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free, anything like that. This list doesn't have any of those distinctions yet. I'm positive that you'll be able to look at menus on Disney, on the My Disney Experience app, and be able to see, what ingredients are if you have any allergies.
Right. Now, one stand called Earth Eats is full of impossible foods.
Right. But if that's your only place that you can get, plant-based, stuff is not going to be a whole lot of fun.
No, it's not. There's stuff throughout the park. We even saw that when we were down there for Festival of Holidays.
That's true.
There was stuff sprinkled throughout. It just may not be on the list we're looking at. But Impossible Eats, you have, of course, an Impossible Burger, a 3-bean chili that's plant-based, and then there's a tea, and then a wine, and what's that? An apple chai tea with whiskey.
Ooh, that sounds good. I'll take that.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I should do when I make like our, normally we make like that hard apple cider around Halloween. Maybe we should like add some.
Yeah, I don't know.
Add some chai or some whiskey.
Oh, there's already. We have caramel apple vodka in there.
I said hard apple cider.
So, are there any of the stands for you? You'd be like, all right, I can go. Other than the wing one, because you don't eat wings.
I don't necessarily enjoy wings.
Is there any of them though? That other ones you're like, if I skip that one, I'm like, okay.
I would probably skip Greece.
Yeah, that was probably one of mine too.
Although Greek food is not. I don't mind it. There's certain things that I do really like. I just think that if I was having to pick and choose and be like, hey, we're not gonna have time for everything, it would definitely be one that would be on my list. I
think another one on my list, and I mean, there's stuff. And now I'm looking at it. I'm like, oh no, I'd be all right. I wasn't say Germany, but I don't know. Okay, I'm like, okay, I can maybe find something there.
Yeah.
Earth Eats wouldn't be high on my list.
No,
I'm just not a big
either.
Impossible person, but I understand why it's there. But, and then, I mean, I think
there's just, it literally is an expansive list.
Yeah.
It's 2 pages tiny, tiny font to
Right.
fit everything onto 2 pages.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, including everything that's coming out October 1st. And that is just, it's crazy to me.
Yeah. And they've done a good job. I mean, I know more stuff's coming out October 1st. I don't know. I haven't heard anything if come October 1st, if, say, 10 of these are getting taken off.
Oh, I don't know that I've heard that either. I thought it was just that they were adding more.
Yeah, I don't know for sure.
But yeah, where are those necessarily being added, or are they getting put into place from where certain current ones are?
Yeah. I don't know. But there's definitely some of them that are definitely more fall friendly than summer friendly.
Yeah.
And like I said, Noodle Exchange.
There's some of them, and there's some of them that are just heavier foods in general.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and it's hard to eat something heavy when it's 95 and humid, and then go to somewhere else and get something else.
Well, I'm really excited about Food and Wine Festival beginning. That was probably one of the biggest things this week outside of the Christmas announcements.
I remembered something else.
What's that?
The Mickey statue.
Oh, yeah. So Disney announced this week the start of what their golden statues are going to be. They're going to be unveiled with the Most Magical Celebration on October 1st. And the very first statue is Mickey Mouse.
Of course. Who else could it be?
Well, I mean, I have a feeling the Fab Five are probably going to be our first ones announced.
Right.
Which is fine.
Yep. I still want to know, like we talked about this in a previous episode, if there's going to be 50 characters or 50 statues. And if there's 50 statues, does each character just get one? Or are the Fab Five going to be in each one of the parks? Because if that's the case, that's 20
That's half your statues right there, if all of them...
What, 16 statues right there? Or
no, Fab Five times 4.
20. Yeah. Whew, long week.
It's definitely been a long week. But this, I mean, there really is, we've had a lot of stuff that's happened over the last year with parks reopening and all the changes that have happened. But this has really been the turning point over the last month and a half of everything shifting and opening with the 50th. And it's literally just going to be every week, I think, right now.
Right.
There's going to be something, at least for the next few weeks. I think once we get into the 50th, that will kind of drop off a little bit just because it'll be a little more like routine of what's happening.
Right.
But up until then, I think it's just going to be pretty constant of, hey, here's what else is happening, and here's what else we're adding, and here's what else we're changing. And
yeah, it seems like we're getting news like 2 or 3 times a week.
At least out of main sources like Disney Parks blog and, like primary sources like that. And then on top of that, we're also getting news from those secondary sources. And like the news that broke today that some of the Imagineering team is moving to Florida.
Right. Pretty much all the Imagineers are moving to Florida unless they have something that they're doing full-time inside Disneyland.
It's just crazy.
Right.
Like
pretty much the whole creative aspect of Disney is moving to Florida.
I mean, that's a huge shift and a huge change. And I have to think that some of that has to do with the 50th coming up.
Could be.
And everything that's happening with that. But, there's a lot happening in the world right now.
Yeah.
There's a lot happening within our own country still right now. And it will be very interesting to see how all of these changes, all of this news, all of the, both exciting and kind of scary stuff that's happening plays out.
Right. Disney's going through big changes right now.
Yeah.
They're going from different leadership teams to different kinds of leadership styles and how things are going to play out coming out of a pandemic that they've never faced.
Right. I mean, you have some leaders and even like the cast member ambassadors who served for really an extra year.
Right.
Because they didn't choose new cast member ambassadors last year. So you have you have people in roles that maybe were supposed to shift out of those roles and weren't able to and stayed in them longer. And, so it's going to be interesting. I think we're still a good 3 to 4, maybe even 5 years away from seeing any kind of like status quo, everything's just kind of the same, ebb and flow of the year for Disney again.
Right. Well, like we said, that was a lot of news.
It is.
A lot of news going on. In order to stay up on the news, follow us at Twitter and Instagram at Salute to the Ears.
Yes, we started a new thing a couple weeks ago of Disney news in under 30 seconds on Instagram.
Yeah.
And it's been a lot of fun. It's really hard, though. Like, if you guys don't do Reels and are creators and you're not doing Reels on Instagram, first of all, you should be, because that's what every single person is saying as far as the algorithm. But two, it is hard.
Right.
It is really, really hard to get the information that you want to say and put out there in 15 to 30 seconds.
No, it's bare bones.
Yeah.
And there can be no so's, buts, anything in there. It's bare bones, and you got to get to the point.
The kids laugh at me because I'll be making one, and I'll think I have it, and I trip over a word, and I just stop, and I'm like, bah!
I do that like 10 times a day. But with that, please follow us at Twitter and Instagram. Download this podcast, share with your friends, help us grow this thing. And with that, please go out and find your joy.
And have a magical week.